Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into uh, something that sounds pretty straightforward, but actually holds a lot of weight in personal finance.
Mm.
Credit card eligibility criteria.
Right.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. You hear the phrase, maybe it sounds simple, but it's like really foundational to how credit even works.
It really is.
And understanding what's behind it is, well, it's crucial if you're going to interact with credit at all.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here isn't just, the phrase itself, but really understanding the whole system it represents.
Okay.
This deep dive is about figuring out what those criteria actually are, and maybe more importantly, why they're so fundamental to how lenders, assess risk and decide who gets credit.
Right. So let's get straight to it then. When we say eligibility criteria for credit cards, what are lenders really looking at? What are the key things they scrutinize when you hit apply?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the main idea is that eligibility criteria means a specific set of requirements, standards, right?
Standards, okay.
Things individuals have to meet to qualify. It's basically the hurdle you need to clear.
A hurdle. I like that.
Yeah, and we're mainly talking about sort of three big buckets here.
Three main areas.
Yeah. Your credit score, that's the obvious one for most people.
Right.
Then your income.
Makes sense.
And third, your debt-to-income ratio, your DTI. Each one tells a different but really critical part of your financial story.
So, okay, three big ones. But the fact that it's criteria plural, that immediately tells me it's not just like an automatic yes or no based on maybe just the score.
Exactly right. It's not automatic.
There's a selection process happening.
Absolutely. The very existence of these criteria shows that providers aren't just saying yes to everyone. They're actively assessing risk.
Risk. That's the key word, isn't it?
It is. They want predictability. They need a clear picture of whether an applicant can actually handle and repay the credit. It's a mechanism for them to evaluate applicants carefully.
Okay, evaluating for responsibility,
Yeah.
stability, things like that.
Precisely. They want to see financial responsibility and a stable situation.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me. The word being criteria, not just a criterion, it suggests there isn't just one single path to getting approved.
Right. That's a really crucial distinction. There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Different cards might look at things differently.
Definitely. Beyond those core three we just mentioned, score, income, DTI providers also look at other things.
Like what?
Like how long you've had credit, so your credit history length.
Okay.
The types of credit you already have, mortgages, car loans, maybe other cards.
The mix.
Yeah, the credit mix. And even things like how many times you've applied for credit recently, those inquiries.
Ah, right, the inquiries. So many factors.
It is. And think about it, a premium travel card might really focus heavily on an almost perfect credit score and a super low DTI.
Got it. High bar.
Yeah, whereas maybe a student card, they might understand you have a limited credit history. They might focus more on, say, your income potential, or maybe require a security deposit instead.
Okay, so context matters. The type of card matters.
Absolutely.
So could a really strong income maybe make up for a credit score that's, not perfect? Does that happen? Or is that a misconception?
That can happen, but it depends on the lender and the card. It's not a universal rule, and that leads into a common misconception, actually.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
A big one is thinking that just having a high credit score is like the golden ticket, the silver bullet.
Right, you hear that all the time. Just get your score up.
Yeah, and it's vital, don't get me wrong, but it's not the only thing. You could have an excellent score, a great FICO or Vantage score, but if your debt-to-income ratio is too high...
Okay, remind us what that is again?
Sure. It's your total monthly debt payments, think loans, minimum card payments, rent or mortgage divided by your gross monthly income before taxes.
Got it. Debt payments versus income.
Exactly. If that ratio is too high, even with a great score, a lender might pause. Or if you've just opened 5 new accounts in the last 6 months.
Ah, it looks risky.
It can look risky, yeah. Like you're suddenly desperate for credit. So they're looking at the whole financial picture, not just one number flashing green.
The whole picture.
Right.
That's a really key takeaway.
Definitely.
So, wow. We've taken this phrase, credit card eligibility criteria, which sounds almost like, boring financial jargon. And we've really dug into the layers behind it, moving past just the words to the actual numbers and methods involved.
Yeah, and in doing that, I think we've seen that these few words actually point to a really structured, careful, evaluative process. It's right at the heart of how credit cards are even issued.
It's not just filling out a form.
Not at all. It's about meeting defined standards, multiple standards, really,
Yeah.
that are designed to gauge your financial reliability.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener, listening in right now? What's the practical takeaway?
Well, for you, the listener, I think the provocative thought here is this. Just understanding that eligibility criteria exist is the first step. But knowing specifically what those key elements often are, like your credit score, yes, but also your income, and especially that DTI.
Okay.
Understanding those specific pieces shifts your perspective.
Right.
You move from just kind of passively applying and hoping for the best.
Right. Crossing your fingers.
Yeah, to proactively managing your entire financial health with those criteria in mind. So the question becomes, how does knowing the specific things they're looking at change how you approach not just applying for credit next time, but how you manage your money day to day, month to month, to consistently look like a good candidate for credit? Even thinking ahead to bigger goals like a mortgage down the road, how does knowing the assessment details change your whole financial strategy?